I want to start a beginner series on tarot. When I say beginners, it is literally from day one. I think if I would have had this very beginning series, it would have helped that a lot in my journey. So what we're going to go through is the different types of decks. We're going to keep it really simple. We've got the Rider-Waite system. From what I can see, there are a few systems. We've got the Rider-Waite system, we've got a Marseille system, we've got the Toff systems. Now, just to give you an idea of the difference, we've got the Rider-Waites. Do you know what I mean? I think this is a good overall beginner system. You know, we've got images descripted. You know, we can sort of guess what's going on, you know. In the Toff system, and it's the same card, different imagery. We can't guess as much. I haven't got the Marseille system to show you, so I'm sorry. So I think from a beginner perspective, our first decision when deciding on which tarot deck to use is deciding what system would benefit us the most. For me, it's the Rider-Waite. Now, I really struggled with trying to work out tarot until I purchased my Rider-Waite system. You know, for me it was worrying. I just couldn't get it, you know, it wasn't going through my head. When I got the Rider-Waite, it all started to come together. It all started making sense. So, first of all, decide what system you're going to use. Research them on Google. It's as simple as that, you know. There's nothing hard work about it, you know. This, the Toff, that's what I'm aiming for. But this, as an absolute beginner, tells me nothing. The imagery is lovely, but it doesn't help me decipher the card. It tells me nothing. This, I'm looking at the clouds. I'm looking at this guy here. I'm looking at swords on the floor. He's holding some. It gives me more to work with. So for me, the Rider-Waite is my beginner. It's my learning deck. I have other decks, you know. This deck. Oops, sorry. The Mythic Tarot. It's based on the Rider-Waite system. Many decks are based on the Rider-Waite system, as they are with the Toff. You know, perhaps the imagery doesn't quite resonate with you. There's many decks that will. You know, but choose a system. You know, learn a system that you can work with in the beginning stages. You know, this video is all about the complete beginner. It isn't about intermediate or anything else. This is beginners. You know, it's like, oh my god. Straight away, beginners. The next thing is finding a good resource to go with your cards. Often a deck of tarot cards will come with an accompanying book. My first ever deck was the Mythic Tarot. And it come with an accompanying book. Whilst that was great, it wasn't the perfect resource for learning tarot, you know? It's perfect resource to the deck. It wasn't the perfect resource for learning tarot, you know, like a beginner 101. That's what you're looking for. 101, you know? I recommend the Holistic Tarot book by Benabel Wan. I got it here somewhere. This book has done me the world of good. I recommend journaling. What sort of things do you write in your journal? There's 101 videos on YouTube. What would I break it down to? For me, I would do card a day draws, you know. I'd pull your card. What does this mean to me? Not what it says in a guidebook. You know, what does it mean to me? Or you? Don't look at the guidebook meaning, you know. Because it's about becoming an intuitive reader. Because that was another thing that I found a problem with. And it was a massive ball of confusion for me. I used to look online or look in all these books, and all these different people would have all these different meanings to all these cards. I could look at one card, 3 or 4 different resources, and it'd all say something different. And I'd be like, what's going on? I wouldn't have a clue, but that's what I didn't understand. It was all about what it meant to the reader, what it meant to you. That is going to be one of my top pieces of advice. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. But also think about it, you know. Spend time, perhaps in meditation if you meditate. Spend time writing. Spend time just taking 5 or 10 minutes out. What does that mean to me? You know, I've just started in my tarot journal. Back at the beginning again. Back at the Fool. What does the Fool mean to me? You know, the Fool reminds me of a teenager, you know, the young teenager, when they're just starting out in life. And, you know, a young teenager thinks he knows everything. We was all the same. We all thought we knew everything, you know, we was all pushing boundaries. But that's a great thing, isn't it? That enthusiasm. You know, that all got us moving. Isn't a bad thing. Had negative aspects. You know, it was all fun. But what does it mean to you? Can you relate your experiences to the Fool? And that's what I'm going to do to each and every single card of the Major Arcana. It's going to take a long time. That's how I'm going to learn the tarot. Because it isn't going to be a quick thing for me. I'm prepared to embark on this journey. And you know, I've got a few decks now. I've got, I think, 7. And there's so many amazing looking decks out there, you know. And that's another trap I'm not going to fall into. So she says, you know. You could just buy and buy and buy loads of decks. Try and find one that resonates with you. You know? I know it's going to be difficult. There's so many lush decks out there. But, I think that's what I would do. And there's so much to learn. You know, I'm lucky I come from a sort of background where I know about elements as well. I think if you know about elements like fire, earth, air. You know, and you know what these elements are about. Fire, about passion, about the want, about the motivation, about water. Water is flowing. It's about emotion, you know. If you've got a grasp of these elements, reading the suits of the cards and understanding the suits is going to come a lot easier to you. Do you know what I mean? The aces. Do you know what I mean? Break it down. You got your suits. Fire, earth, air, water. You got your aces. That's a different little collection. The aces are all about beginnings. So we got the ace of fire. So fire is about passion. So, for example, the ace of fire, ace of wands, yeah? So it's about new beginnings of, to do with sort of creativity, to do with work, things like that. Or to do with the ace of water or ace of cups. You know, it's new emotions, new love. You know, when you start seeing it in that way, it makes life a lot easier. Then break it down into the court cards. You know, what are the kings? Do you know what I mean? What are queens? And the pages. Do you know what I mean? Of course, this is going with the Rider-Waite system. You know, this is why I sort of said the Rider-Waite system for me is easier. You know, but break it down. Don't make it such as in like, oh, I got 78 cards to learn. How on earth am I going to remember them? Because it's unlikely you're going to remember them all. I've been there. I've been stuck in that trap. You know, and it's difficult. It is difficult. So anyway, it's my advice. Pretty chilled as usual. Enjoy.